Don't you get it? Why can't anybody have an opinion but you?
IOI was a temporary girl group project as a result of the survival show Produce 101 in 2016. The final lineup included 11 members total. Honestly, I wasn't a K-pop stan yet when the show was airing. I was more of a casual listener with K-pop and didn't fully dive into it as a genre until late 2017. The ranking of IOI goes as follows: Yeonjung ranked 11th, Nayoung ranked 10th, Mina ranked 9th, Doyeon ranked 8th, Chaeyeon ranked 7th, Hyukhyung ranked 6th, Sohee ranked 5th somehow, Chungha ranked 4th, Yoojung ranked 3rd, Sejong ranked 2nd, and Somi ranked 1st. Somi was 15 at debut, with IOI being the youngest member, born in 2001, and the oldest member was Nayoung, then 20, born in late 1995, later turning 21 in 2016. So the age range for the group was 15 to 21, which is pretty standard in K-pop. Somi got the center position, and it's typical for the maknae to get that in these survival shows especially, though I find it a bit creepy. Before I get into the subsequent activities of each member of IOI following the end of the group's activities, I want to mention the Produce 101 rigging controversy. I found online that it had been rigged. I knew about this years ago, but just wanted to confirm it for myself yet again for this video. And it seems like it was mainly at least one member was switched into the debut lineup that wasn't supposed to be there due to the voting. Now, with all of these survival shows, these days we're all kind of aware as K-pop stans that they're all rigged to some degree. Companies don't really want to rely on voters voting for who they want entirely. You can have some input, but they want who they want there. So they're going to make sure that happens. It's not great, but it's the entertainment industry, and, you know, that really doesn't even scratch the surface of how shady the music industry really is. I don't believe it was ever confirmed who was rigged to get into IOI. That information was kept private, but in my opinion, it was obviously Sohee, as during the show, she was really lacking and didn't seem ready at all. When I was watching clips of it in late 2017, I was thinking, how did she get in? And that's not really hate towards her. It was just kind of clear, like, how did she even get in? And I talk about it later in this video, but she's the only member that actually didn't pursue being an idol after this. So oddly enough, that kind of leads me to believe that she really was the member that was rigged in, and perhaps whatever company she was under thought this was a good way to just get her foot in the door to later be an actress and focus on that line of work. But then again, that is just purely speculation, and all of that's alleged. I don't know for sure. I'm just trying to cover my butt there. But yeah, I do think it was Sohee personally. I won't be mentioning them all, but some other notable contestants that were trainees on the first season of Produce 101 include Soyeon, now an idol, who debuted with G-Idol in May 2018, Kwon Eunbin, who joined CLC in February 2016, Hui Hyun, who then went by Kathy, was also a member of Daya from the 2015 debut, alongside Chaeyeon, who ranked 7th place, as well as Jung Eunwoo, Park Seon, and Kim Min-kyung, who debuted in Pristin in March 2017. IOI debuted in May of 2016 with Dreamgirls, though I still prefer Pick Me to this day, as well as the very upbeat and cutesy song, Very, 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 and they also had a song called What a Man, Good Man, but I wasn't a fan of this song since Somi was a year younger than me, and it just seemed odd to have her centered singing about a man being such a good man when she was just a girl, just being honest. But Pick Me and Very, Very, Very are such happy songs that will be remembered in the K-pop community forever. IOI was active for a period of 10 months, and they disbanded in January 2017. Their other endeavors after IOI. Chaeyeon debuted with Daya, short for Diamond, in late 2015, but then joined the temporary girl group IOI after receiving 7th place. She then rejoined the now disbanded group Daya during June of 2016 that had some great dance-based songs like Woo Wah, Woo Woo, and Pick Up the Phone, as well as more cutesy songs like On the Road, Can't Stop, and their debut, Somehow. Daya disbanded in 2022. Mina and Sejong debuted during June of 2016 in the now disbanded group Gugudan, a group that excelled at vocal talent. Some of their noteworthy songs include Wonderland, A Girl Like Me, The Boots, and Not That Type. Gugudan disbanded in 2020. Kyokyung and Nayoung debuted during March of 2017 in Pristin, which is also now, unfortunately, disbanded. Their debut song was the iconic Wee Woo, and some other notable songs of theirs include Running, We Like, and Over and Over. Pristin also had a subunit called Pristin V, with the popular song at the time, Get It. Pristin is an interesting case because they disbanded only 2 years after debuting, despite having achieved remarkable success from debut. Pristin disbanded in 2019. Kim Do-yeon and Choi Yoo-jung debuted during August 2017 in Wakey Makey. Can you guess? Yes. They're now disbanded too, unfortunately. I was a fan of all of these groups, and I still listen to their songs from time to time because I'm so fond of third-gen K-pop. Several of Wakey Makey's songs worth mentioning include Crush, La La La, Picky Picky, Tiki Taka, a personal favorite of mine, and Cool. I love Wakey Makey so much that I could potentially make an entire video just about them and each era they had. Wakey Makey sadly disbanded in 2024. Yeonjung joined the group WJSN, or Cosmic Girls, in August of 2016 as the 13th member. The group recently had a 10-year anniversary comeback with Bloom Hour that I covered in my February 2026 K-pop review video. So WJSN is still considered active, but each member is doing their own thing, with Dayoung being a notable soloist currently. WJSN had great songs as well, such as Secret, Done, Catch Me, You Got, New Me, and Save Me, Save You. They also had 2 subunits, such as WJSN Chokome with the songs and Super Yuppers, and then a sexier subunit called WJSN The Black with songs like Easy and Kiss Your Lips. Sohee was the only member of I.O.I to not immediately continue with the pursuit of being a K-pop idol. Instead, she focused on acting and hosting as an MC on several variety shows. Chungha debuted as a soloist in June of 2017 with Why Don't You Know, and during the late 2010s and early 2020s, Chungha was absolutely dominating the K-pop space as a soloist. She's one of my favorite soloists ever. I could make an entire video about her eras as well. Some of Chungha's noteworthy songs include Roller Coaster, Snapping, Gotta Go, and Stay Tonight. If I don't stop there, I'll end up listing almost every song she's ever released. Somi was the last of the I.O.I members to debut after the temporary group came to a close. This is ironic since she ranked first in the Produce 101 competition. Somi left JYP Entertainment in August of 2018, which left many surprised and shocked. She was originally going to debut in ITZY, but Yoona ended up replacing her in the final lineup due to Somi's departure from the company. Jeon Somi signed with the Black Label, an offshoot of YG Entertainment, and finally made her soloist debut in June 2019 with Birthday. She tends to have a 2-year break between each comeback, but her notable songs include Dum Dum, XOXO, Watermelon, and Fast Forward. Fun fact before we go forward, I.O.I is widely considered the first K-pop group to do the relay dance on Mnet back in 2016 with the song Very Very Very. I really miss 3rd and 4th gen when the relay dance was done the way it was meant to be. Not another stage performance, but everyone is instead randomly dancing and lip-singing to whatever part they make it to the front for. Nowadays, they're way too choreographed, and it's taken away the charm relay dance had in its earlier days. Now, real quick, I just want to say what each member of I.O.I is doing now, as some of them have changed paths since the mid-2010s, and not everyone partook in the comeback. For those who stayed within the music industry, Jeon Somi is still a soloist. as well as Choi Yoo-jung, who recently had a comeback with Perfect Target. And Yeon-jung is a singer, a musical actress, and is still signed as a member of WJSN. It is to be noted that she's the only one that is still in a K-pop group. Chungha is a soloist as well. A majority of the members of I.O.I have leaned into acting as their career path. This makes sense because with being a K-pop idol, sure, there's some people who do it for decades, but for the most part, there really is an age limit on it, unfortunately. That's pretty common within the music industry. I mean, sure, you can make music at any age, but youth tends to be the most primarily focused on factor with groups. Obviously, as time goes on, we just see them get younger and younger. Meanwhile, with acting, maybe the younger person might get the lead role, but you could be very old and still manage to get acting gigs. They have to cast people of all ages, usually, within TV shows and movies. So it makes sense that a lot of them do away with the idol life because, like I said, there really is a time limit on it, unfortunately. As I said, it's a majority of the I.O.I members that have leaned into acting as their career path, including Na-young, who acts in theater, television, and appears on variety shows. Chaeyeon focuses on acting and has starred in multiple K-dramas, one of them being Golden Spoon. So he does various acting gigs within television, web series, and films. It seems like she never really intended to be a K-pop idol in the first place, as she was always signed as an actress under her company at the time of going on Produce 101. I think this was just a way of her company at the time to get her possibly into the group, which that worked, and then therefore she would have recognition already as a celebrity, even though she wasn't going to continue being an idol. Just my thoughts. Do-yeon acts in various television shows as well as doing modeling gigs. Sejong is also an actress, notably starring in the popular K-drama Business Proposal on Netflix, but she also releases solo music on the side here and there. Kyo-kyung is an actress and a model, primarily in her homeland of China. And Kang Mina is also an actress and has starred in K-dramas, such as a popular one called Hotel Del Luna. Both Kyo-kyung and Mina were not part of the I.O.I 10-year anniversary comeback, as it seems they both are more focused on acting pursuits and have put idol life behind them entirely. Now on to reviewing the music they recently released for their EP I.O.I Loop, their third mini-album. The first song that was part of their 10-year anniversary comeback was Goodbye with a Smile, recorded in 2016, but released as a pre-release on May 4th, 2026. It's a typical goodbye song that reflects how the group I.O.I was temporary from the start, but it was still sad for them to part as nobody knew what their future would hold. As I described, many of them did return to the idol life, but eventually walked away from it entirely. Their voices all sound stunningly beautiful, and the ballad reflects the gratitude at being able to live out their dream, even for a short while. Honestly, if I.O.I had stayed together for a longer period of time, I think they would have continued to release great music. But then again, there were great girl groups that came out of them leaving I.O.I. Even though all of them but WJSN have disbanded, the music will be remembered even though the groups are now inactive. Goodbye with a Smile ends with a sweet lyric, "Thank you for loving me," reflecting how the idol life relies on the public loving them enough to care about each release and whatever endeavors they may involve themselves in the future. I give Goodbye with a Smile a score of 9 out of 10. I love that this was the last opportunity to hear all 11 voices together, and it makes me think about how many songs are in the vaults of these companies that we'll simply never get to hear. The thing that made me not give this a perfect score is that I'm not very fond of Na-young's rap parts where she says "I'm with you," but the ending of the song is so stunning it makes me feel like I'm levitating. The title track for their anniversary comeback, Suddenly, was released on May 19th, 2026. The lyrics reflect how the memories of their group activities come back to them suddenly as they lay down to sleep, and the nostalgic feelings come flooding in. The lyrics are really beautiful and remind me how I feel remembering lost friendships over the years, how you want to forget, but suddenly you remember everything all over again. and it's bittersweet. Chungha and Yeonjung's vocals really stand out in a stunning way on the Suddenly track. I wasn't sure if I liked Suddenly when I first heard it, but I really enjoy it now, especially watching the stage performances they did to it. It was refreshing to see them singing live as well. That makes the stage feel like a true performance, not just a dance practice. I like that they chose a more laid-back song for the comeback's title track. The lyrics really fit the occasion. Suddenly gets a 9.5 out of 10. Now on to the rest of the songs they released. The next song on the EP I'm going to be ranking is the opening track, I.O.I, Where My Girl's At. This song is so fun and upbeat. I was pleasantly surprised to see they had any stages promoting it. That was cool. I also like how the 90s house sound was heavily incorporated into the song, especially around the repeated Where My Girl's At part. This was released late May, but it's a perfect song for summer and has a smiley vibe to it. Fun dance vibe to it. The ending part has a dance break included that features a heavier, distorted bass sound. Overall, this is great. Originally, this was my favorite song on the EP at first listen, but I'd say I.O.I, Where My Girl's At, is a 9.8 out of 10. It's still amazing, but I think I maybe prefer it without the dance break segment. Moving on. SBF 100, Summer Pop Fantasy. This song is so great. It has a more tropical soundscape to it, fitting for the summer theme. I love the glitch effect on the vocals where they go, all over my skin. I love the lyrics. I love the sound. I have nothing bad to say about this song. It gets stuck in my head a lot now that I've heard it, and I want to hear it over and over. SBF 100 Summer Pop Fantasy is a 10 out of 10. I just don't like this song. I don't know what it is exactly, but it seems too Disney Channel in a way. Even though Disney Channel has made some great songs, it seems to have that cornier feel to it, this If I song. It's just not a song I'd want to replay over and over or go out of my way to listen to ever again. If I is a 7 out of 10. The last song I'll be discussing on the EP is Then, Now, and Forever. This ballad is even better than Goodbye with a Smile to me, as I enjoy the entire thing. I'm a sucker for Korean ballads, so I tend to like whenever they are included on girl group EPs. It's nice to listen to. I really like when K-pop idols get to show off their vocal talent. Then, Now, and Forever gets a 9.1 out of 10. Now, quickly ranking each song on the EP in order of my least favorite to most favorite. Number 6, If I. Number 5, Goodbye with a Smile. Number 4, Then, Now, and Forever. Number 3, Suddenly. Number 2, I.O.I, Where My Girl's At. And number 1, SBF 100, Summer Pop Fantasy. As for the EP itself, I.O.I Loop gets a 9.5 out of 10 as a body of work. It's great. It's what it needed to be and has some memorable songs on it. I'm really glad I tuned in for this anniversary comeback, and it makes me glad that all those years ago when I was a newbie K-pop stan, I went out of my way to watch the Produce 101 show and, review the audition clips, especially Chungha's iconic audition, and also Soyeon from Idol. She had a really great audition too. The 2010s, especially the mid to late 2010s, are just such a fond time of K-pop for me, and I feel so nostalgic over it. Not over my time being a teenager, as I didn't like that time, but over the music, because music has helped me a lot throughout my life. It's really helped me immensely. And, like I said, I was a casual K-pop listener for a long time, but diving deeper into the genre has been really great for me because K-pop gives me a lot of happiness, not in a parasocial way, because I don't know these people, but in a way that their voices sound great, and I have this appreciation for upbeat, fun music in a way that I never thought possible as a totally depressed teenager. I didn't think it was possible for me to enjoy happy music like that, so it means a lot that even after all this time, I still really, really love happy K-pop music. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you didn't know IOI before this, I'm glad you do now. If you already knew IOI, that's great, and I'm glad to see people who are basically veteran status with K-pop. You know, 10 years ago is really not that long ago, but once you've been into K-pop that long, it's pretty cool to be able to look back and say, wow, I've been into this for a decade. Thanks so much for listening to my video, and thanks to I.O.I for providing us fans with new music after 10 years. I.O.I was a temporary girl group that was only together for a 10-month period, but their impact is still remembered after all this time. See you in the next video.